Serotonin is the feel-good chemical in the brain. It sustains feelings of well-being, peace, and calm. Serotonin regulates sleep and body temperature as well. Specific stresses, aging, and definite triggers lead to a decrease in serotonin levels. Here are some examples of triggers that cause low serotonin levels: prolonged feelings of anger, taking birth control pills, eating too much sugar, caffeine, and alcohol, overexercising, dieting too strenuously, taking stimulants, having too much stress, and using tobacco. Both anxiety and depersonalization symptoms are heightened due to plummeting serotonin levels. Even minor declines in serotonin will often set off reactions. You have the power to boost your serotonin levels by using specific living skills and foods you already have in your kitchen. Changes in serotonin levels can transform a bleak existence into an enjoyable and pleasure-producing life once again. Studies now reveal a strong connection between serotonin levels and depersonalization. This may dupe many into believing they must run out and get medications to hold serotonin levels in their brain, but this is completely unnecessary. There are natural ways to boost serotonin levels and keep them in balance. This is one of the most exciting topics that I have researched, and through investigation found surefire ways of raising serotonin levels naturally, keeping them boosted, and without the risks that accompany prescription medications. I find this breakthrough extremely exciting. Imagine a way to boost serotonin levels naturally and keep them that way. First of all, let's get this clear. Medications such as antidepressants, which are generally prescribed for anxiety and depression, actually have warnings on the readouts stating that they may cause anxiety. Not comforting for those who are struggling with anxiety symptoms to begin with. But most importantly, antidepressants do not create serotonin. This is a fact. The body does this. These medications merely hold it in the brain. They hold it back, stop it from leaving. But, and this is very important, if you're not eating correctly and your body is not producing serotonin, there is nothing to hold on to. And so you're taking these medications for nothing. What a waste of time, money, and effort. Can you imagine someone taking these pills, experiencing the reactions, and not even receiving the positive effects? What a supreme waste of time. I repeat, these medications do not produce serotonin. They only hold it in the brain. If you're not eating correctly and your body is not producing the serotonin, there's nothing to hold on to. This doesn't mean you should stop taking your medications cold turkey. This can be dangerous. These medications absolutely have a place as far as clinical depression goes in particular. They can be life-saving. As far as depersonalization goes, you have many natural alternatives and options. Not everyone is comfortable taking medications. Seek out your choices based upon what you're comfortable with. Here's an interesting fact as well. I recently spoke to many people who told me they actually felt the fuzzy, dull sensations were enhanced by SSRI antidepressants. They were made worse. They found it difficult to concentrate as well. These are real people relaying their own experiences. Others have told me these drugs brought on these feelings when they never had them before in their lives. Not a great testimonial for these medications. Why bother when you have alternative choices, one of which is using foods to build serotonin, and the result is astounding. There are other natural options as well, and all available to you. I will get to them, but first let's fill in the full description of serotonin for those who may not be aware of this chemical produced by the brain. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter involved in mood regulation. It regulates sleep, appetite, mood, and emotion. Serotonin levels can become imbalanced when we eat poorly or live an overly stressful lifestyle. You can tell when serotonin levels are balanced. You feel wonderful, at ease, and at peace with the world. A genuine sense of well-being. You feel content. Serotonin also helps you to feel sharp and focused, and it enhances your concentration levels as well. You'll sleep a sounder sleep and wake up with a true sense of well-being. You'll experience energy but not hyper. You'll be calm but not drowsy. I am speaking from experience here. I use this technique every single day of my life, and I can assure you that the results are amazing. I have recommended this use to so many, and they too have discovered how simple it is to boost serotonin levels naturally and to feel more at ease with themselves and enjoy good sleep and a calmer existence. And it's not difficult at all to do. By the end of this audio, you'll understand how to do it as well. First of all, there are signals of low serotonin levels in the body, and they are fairly easy to recognize. Diana Schwarzbein discusses this in her books, The Schwarzbein Principle, and it makes perfect sense. Some of these signals include lower mood, along with insomnia, irritability, fatigue, and poor concentration. There are also reasons for lowered serotonin levels that you might not be aware of. Prolonged worry is very stressful and lowers serotonin levels. Dieting too strenuously will also play havoc with serotonin levels. Improper diet and nutrition, lack of proteins, lessened exposure to sunlight. Yes, moderate sunlight can help raise serotonin levels. Lower tryptophan levels can lower serotonin levels. Don't overlook foods that contain tryptophan. They're very important. We've included a tryptophan chart for you to read, which lists the foods rich in this amino acid: turkey, tuna, oatmeal, peanuts, cottage cheese, just to name a few. In the book Secret to Serotonin, Carol Hart speaks of tryptophan and how important this amino acid is as a building block of protein found in high-protein foods. Strong emotions and stress also lower serotonin levels. Strong or prolonged anger, rage, or grief will lower these levels as well. A schedule that is too full and overwhelming can lower your serotonin levels. Too many stimulating substances, overdoing exercise. Remember, moderation in everything is key. It's interesting to note that some foods may add to serotonin levels initially, but then do the opposite. Yes, you feel good in the beginning, but then drop much lower than before you began. Sugar is the prime example. Have a piece of candy. You feel great, but in a short period of time, much worse. Alcohol is the same way. Feel great initially, then lower than before. The same goes for caffeine, diet pills, and tobacco. They create a false and short-lived sense of well-being. They take away more than they give as far as serotonin production goes. The secret to boosting serotonin levels is very simple. There is a way to prime your body during the day to ensure the boost later on. In Potatoes Not Prozac by Kathleen Desmaisons, she offers a formula that works like magic, yet it's purely natural and anyone can achieve the results. Here's how it works. You start by eating lean protein all day long with complex carbohydrates. Examples would be eggs and Canadian bacon for breakfast, Caesar salad with chicken for lunch, lean meat, poultry, or fish for dinner with whole grain rolls. Your snacks during the day would be basically proteins such as nuts, seeds, nut butter, cheeses on whole grain crackers. The main idea is to have a protein with every single meal or snack during the day. Never have a carbohydrate alone during the day. Then, 1 hour before bed, you have a complex carbohydrate alone. This could be a whole grain English muffin, a whole grain bagel, a bowl of whole grain cereal without the milk because the protein in milk will blunt the action of the carbohydrate. Or you could even have a potato complete with skin. This is because all these options are complex carbohydrates. And this is where the serotonin comes in. Your body was primed all day long with protein and amino acids. The carbohydrate would not work alone without them. They set the stage for this development. The more tryptophan foods you eat during the day, the better. Turkey, tuna, oatmeal, cottage cheese, etc. Then, when you eat the carbohydrate alone an hour or so before bedtime, it promotes the production of serotonin in the brain. It passes through the blood-brain barrier and the serotonin is released, resulting in an enhanced sense of well-being. This initially causes you to experience a good, healthy drowsiness, and sleep is restful and relaxing. This is not the same type of fatigue experienced by depersonalization. With boosted serotonin levels, you will wake in the next morning with an increased sense of well-being, and this continues throughout the day. You repeat the same process and each day rebuilds serotonin levels. Yes, stresses may occur in your life, but this will arm you against overreacting. It will also aid in the disintegration of depersonalization. It provides you with the brain chemical you need to feel your very best. Remember, even though carbohydrates boost serotonin levels, you don't want to eat them alone all day long because the rise is swift and temporary when you do it this way. You want the long-acting and lasting path. Follow the suggestions I mentioned and it will never let you down. Also, try to keep your anger in check, since this also lowers serotonin levels. Choose your battles wisely and compromise when possible. Anger can be a debilitating emotion on all counts. By all means, express yourself, but watch when it passes from anger to rage. This can become extremely depleting as far as serotonin levels go. Do you realize that the energy produced by 3 minutes of anger in the morning can remain in the body for 6 full hours afterwards? That's not very helpful when you're dealing with depersonalization. You know, there are other ways to increase serotonin levels in the body too. Exposure to early morning sunlight is one of them. This boosts serotonin levels as it lifts your spirits. Make it your business to go out in sunlight on a daily basis. The light indoors is never as bright as outdoors, even on an overcast day. I'm not suggesting you lie in the sun for hour after hour, but I am saying limited sun exposure can be helpful, especially if you're struggling with depersonalization. Moderate exercise also increases serotonin levels. Be sure not to overdo it because then the opposite will occur. Those who overexercise find themselves depleted in serotonin levels. So choose an exercise you enjoy doing so you'll continue to do it. It will give you back emotionally all the physical energy you put into it. Believe it or not, the process of chewing increases serotonin levels. So the next time you feel ill at ease, you might want to chew on a piece of gum and see if you notice a difference. This is why animals may find solace in chewing on bones. Maybe they know something we've overlooked. I know a lot of people tell me that whenever they're angry, they reach for the pretzel box and start chomping away. They're probably unknowingly creating higher serotonin levels for themselves. Feelings of love and good relationships help raise serotonin levels. Resolve all difficulties and allow yourself to feel the good feelings. You deserve it. And while you're at it, practice forgiveness. This helps resolve issues as well. And if anything, it keeps your serotonin levels balanced. Music can raise serotonin levels, and it doesn't have to be classical music. If it feels good, listen to it. We all have our own taste in music. Choose the sounds which speak to you and continue to listen. Boost serotonin with rock, jazz, pop, or whatever you so desire. You may want to get up and dance too. This also boosts serotonin levels. How about thinking about pleasant times in your life? Tapping into positive times and memories can be a serotonin booster. Thinking about people you love or have loved, fun times or happy occasions, these are all serotonin boosters. They are the good times to look back upon. If you are going to look backwards, focus upon the events that felt best. They elicit good endorphins and chemicals such as serotonin. Yes, you have the power to raise serotonin levels without the aid of a chemical or any other unnatural solution. It's as simple as changing your diet, going outdoors in sunlight, and walking around the block. Maybe the best things in life truly are free. This is one of the times where it is clearly proven. Those who have used these methods and raised serotonin levels naturally find it changes their lives in a more positive manner. Most of them continue using these examples throughout their life. This is because these methods work, and why not feel good when you have the choice? As I said, I use these methods and can absolutely feel the difference when I don't use them. The days I begin to feel irritable or out of sorts, I regroup and begin following the regimen once again. In a matter of hours, I begin to feel the positive effects. This is one natural method that works very quickly. It's easy to use and it keeps on working. It's available to everyone, although most do not know about it. It could be the best kept secret. It's unbelievable how many people are unaware of how to boost serotonin levels naturally, and yet people seek this out all the time. Everyone wants to feel better, and if they only knew there were so many simple ways to achieve this. Once I realized this, I laughed to myself because I couldn't believe how many years I went without being able to do this, wishing I could. I always thought you had to find a medication to do something like this, and the majority of people think the exact same way. Well, I'm here to tell you now that this is not true. You can do it naturally. I hope you begin to use this way of building serotonin levels too. I know you will also feel the difference and it will change your life as it did mine. I'm thrilled to be able to share this information with you. Your depersonalization will diminish when you use this along with the coping and living skills. You'll become a stronger individual when you take full control of your life in this natural way. Yes, the alternative option is the natural path to well-being. Use it in good health and experience an improved life. This is the key to peace, calm, and a true sense of well-being.